Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Marty, and I'm joined here with Julian from Enemy Spotted Studios. His game is A Country. So, Julian, super excited to have you here because we had a conversation earlier in the vendor hall, and your game sounds like it's right in my personal wheelhouse. So, tell us a little bit about you, maybe about Enemy Spotted, and particularly about In Country.
Absolutely. I'm Julian. I'm going to be the head designer at Enemy Spotted Studios. You might know me as the head goon. I like to wear a ski mask and yell at people online about my games. In Country is going to be a fast-paced, no bullshit, no math or points, modern war game. 28mm to 32mm. We've got a guy playing 20mm itself. Very flexible, fast, and fun. We've got a 2x2 foot all the way up to a 6x8 foot battlefield. Tanks, vehicles, whatever we want. It's going to play very smooth, not a lot of tokens, D10 system.
Very nice. All right, so two-player conflict box. So that's our starter kit, right?
Correct. Yep.
All right. So Julian, if we were to take said box here and crack it open, what would we find in here? What does the consumer get in the starter set, if you will?
Absolutely. Our two-player conflict box is intended to get two players going as fast as possible into In Country. So what you're looking at is 10 Green Beret models, with 4 of them being advisors. And we're looking at 10 Russian or Eastern forces, with 4 of them being advisor models. You also get an attack canine that fits in with both forces, the Rulebook, a measuring stick, dice, and a set of tokens. Everything but the terrain to play more than a full force for both players, retailing at $99. They are full pewter models with 1 piece to glue on, except for one of the models will have 2 arms. Everything you need.
So only one model has 2 arms, all the rest of them only have 1?
To glue on. I don't really like messing around with metal model assemblies, so we engineered them to be as easy as possible.
Well, so I can tell you, stopped by the booth over in the vendor hall earlier. The models are exquisite.
Thank you.
I mean, super detailed, right on the money for a modern kit. They're very impressive looking models. So.
I think I recognized one of them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think I know him. So you have your 2-player starter kit, but you also have some other items that are adjunct or additional to these as well. What else you got there, Julian?
Yeah, absolutely. Along with this release and our pewter sets, we also have African regular forces. That's going to feature bump helmets, plate carriers, more westernized gear, but with an AK chassis or a little bit of Israeli weaponry mixed in there to reflect current African conflict situations. In addition to the regular forces, we have irregular forces, which are going to feature, once again, more AK platforms, but much less useful Western gear or more often used Western gear. They're going to look more like the typical militia that you might see in the films. Gree-grees or fetishes, some ad hoc camouflage, and a lot of scowling.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And I want to say, do we have some like PMCs and female operators? Is that right?
Absolutely.
I'm trying to remember what blister packs we had.
Absolutely. We also, in addition to the starter box and the adjunct African forces, we have a 2-pack of the female operators alpha. That's going to feature 2 females with those Eastern European weapon chassis, a 9mm system, as well as a 7.62 but subgun variant.
Right.
And those are both going to be extremely detailed models. Very excited about it. One female has rippling hair with ear protection over it. The other female's got it pulled tight in a bun. They've got actually resized plate carriers and appropriate gear for the female models, rather than what you might see out there where the gear and equipment are scaled up or down for the model itself.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So when we were talking earlier, you were definitely speaking to my heart, because it sounds like there's not a lot of bookkeeping that goes with this. We talked earlier, and I told you, I'm the guy that just wants to push my little dudes around, shoot some guys in the face, and blow some shit up. And it sounds like, because I haven't reviewed the rules or anything like that, but it sounds like that's kind of what the game leans into. Can you tell us a little bit more about gameplay?
Absolutely. So we designed the game to be a basis for real military tactics. If you want to boil that down to one goal, it's going to be to suppress an enemy force, infantry or vehicle, find, fix, and eliminate them using close-range assault to guarantee the destruction of them. So for in-country, what that means is you have 3 numbers to remember. Those are called your grips, basically your stats. Let's, for example, the contractors, 4, 7, 10. Want to shoot an asshole in the open? A 4. He's behind something? A 7. He's behind something to take cover? You need a 10 to hit him on that D10. That's all you need to remember.
So, and you just said it, it's a D10 based system.
Right.
So if he's behind hard cover, you gotta roll a 10.
What's great is if he's behind that hard cover, or you've suppressed him so that he is keeping it down, but you get in close range, you ignore the cover. That's the assault through position part of it. Suppress him with an LMG or a light machine gun saw, move up and finish him off no matter what your weapon system is.
Almost like if you had a base of fire, like, I don't know, the entire military, U.S. military,
Yeah.
teaches, from day one, how are we going to conduct our ambushes? Base of fire and a maneuver element, right?
Absolutely.
Digging that. That's awesome. So if I got the starter box, you said, basically this is all the models that we need. What if I wanted some terrain? Is there any terrain available?
Absolutely. So we just finished fulfilling our Kickstarter, which involved a 3D MDF, that wooden material type terrain set. That's going to get you a large compound actually featured in the background here, as well as some smaller buildings. That'll be retailing soon within the next 60 days of this podcast here on our store. Pretty
Nice.
hard to stock MDF right now. Otherwise, we are proud to announce our partnership with Death Ray Designs, and we're going to be doing a shantytown set that will be 3 larger structures and a half structure, all flexible doors and windows, removable roofs, enough terrain for a 2x2 foot board. That'll be debuting within the next 30 to 45 days and retail about $70.
Awesome. All right. So you mentioned 2x2 a couple of times.
Yes.
So if I got just the 2-player conflict box, I spend my $100, I get this. Are we playing that on a 2x2? Because you said it can be scaled up, but I'm
Yes.
guessing that you probably need a few more dudes if you're going to play on like a 4x6 or larger board. But this will do a 2x2 nicely, I imagine.
Absolutely. And what's great about in-country is it really depends on how much time you want to put into it. The slowest part of the game is going to be moving your models. So the larger your board, the more you got to move them before you can engage that contact, right? That's why I love a 2x2, very dense. You can get into it right away, and it gives you some room for maneuver.
So thinking of, regardless of whether the board's a 2x2, a 4x4, or 4x6, whatever, are there any ranges for the weapons, or is it you can shoot the distance of the board regardless because of the scale and the size of the board kind of thing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So weapon ranges are primarily based on what the unit's doing. If you're assaulting, where you move forward, your ranges are going to be much more limited. Oftentimes 8 inches.
So are we talking like a CQB style thing, like you're working on the offsets of your sights kind of deal there, or?
Absolutely. So moving and engaging, you're going to be actively full moving, obviously presenting plates forward, depending on your training, doing some high speed stuff like that.
Gotcha.
You can engage targets past 8 inches. It's just going to be that hardest number.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you're engaging, which is going to be a 1-inch move, you can shoot out to 48. And that's how you're going to trigger a lot of the special rules like light machine guns, using deployed weapons like rocket launchers, etc. You're not going to be running and gunning with that stuff.
Right. All right. So we said rocket launchers. Do we get a rocket launcher in here?
Not in here,
No.
but we have several SAW-style weapons, strong
Okay.
automatic weapons.
I was gonna say I see.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a saw, not like a 240 Bravo, right?
No, that's actually going to be, the equivalent, if you will. We have one of the Green Beret operating the new SIG light machine gun system.
Oh.
That's going to actually be chambering, don't quote me on this, 308 Lapua, that very high-powered round. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Don't quote me on this either,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I don't remember what caliber they actually settled on for that.
Yeah.
Now that you say it, but there's a much greater range that goes along
I heard
with
it's
that.
2 clicks flat. Yeah.
Yeah, it shoots like a laser.
Yeah, man.
So, we're gonna have to try that 1-to-1 scale here.
Yeah.
We'll head on out to the Royal
Yeah, to the
Sportsman's
range.
Club and see what we can do.
Call up SIG.
So the rule said small, yeah?
So, talk to us a little bit about the rule book itself.
You want me to pull that bad boy out?
Sure. When we open up that rule book, what's in there? Is it a bunch of fluff? Is it all technical information? Do we get a
man.
scenario?
So here's how it comes. Eastern, Western, you get your tokens. And
Oh,
you
we
get your
can't see
rules.
that.
Oh, yeah, you're good. Anyways, here's the rule book. So the rulebook's going to be primarily focused on all the information you need to play the game. We like to insert, like you mentioned, some kind of fluff into the actual sections, but that's only in an attempt to describe what the models are doing to help rationalize it.
Sure.
For example, Assault mentions moving at high speeds to engage the target at closer range, so that it more natively plays into the closer range installed rules.
Sure.
So that's not just rules.
That also has the scenarios.
I was gonna
and the
say we get
forces.
some scenarios, right?
Hell yeah, man.
Let me hold on. Let me get to the front here. Oh, look, there is a table of contents.
Absolutely.
All right. So we talk about all of the phases of the game and all the things that we can do. We talk about our different forces, and then it looks like we get into our actual scenarios and team building.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, we include several forces in there. U.S. Army Rangers, your generic insurgents, and of course the deniable Eastern forces. Yeah.
So what is the in-country armory?
So the armory is a unique section where every model is assumed to have a weapon. The armory lists some alternative rules for those weapons. For example, carbines will be better at closer range, where an automatic rifle might fire more shots. So it's nice to kind of go through. Cruiser as well. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So talking about weapons here.
Yeah.
All right. So small arms, we all get that. Crew serve, we're probably familiar with it, but crew serve is not just limited to our machine guns. I see. Let's see. I can have a 60 or 80 millimeter mortar.
Correct.
I could have a recoilless rifle, a minigun.
Absolutely.
That's how you know God hates you. A 20 millimeter cannon, God hates you even more. 120 millimeter cannon, God hates himself. And then some missiles, some special carried weapons here. It looks like this is where we're talking about our rocket launchers primarily, RPGs, anti-tank weapons, a flamethrower, just in case you really need to be screwed. But that's also where you put your sniper. I see, heavy
Absolutely.
sniper.
Yeah, so that's going to represent a Nemetar 20 or that South African-based 20 millimeter system they use for marksman or sniper rifle.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
so go straight to your dead end of it.
Yeah. And then you also, I see there's some rules for an IED, a couple different flavors, a Claymore, an anti-tank mine as well.
Yeah.
So, nice. There's a lot of different things that can come on here. And, I'm looking at these, and I'm looking at the back of the box.
Yeah, man.
Because the back of the box has a picture of everybody, so
You can just flip it over.
Yeah,
I just don't want to dump everything out. All right, so on the back of the box, I don't see where we have a lot of those particular figures modeled yet. Is that something to come in the future? And who would be sculpting those, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm actually the lead designer for a lot of the models as well. I do all of the organics as well as much of the hard surface. I tend to avoid vehicles. I do have a partner that does a lot of the vehicles, but you will be seeing a lot of the optional units in the future. Because we are a newer range, I really wanted to establish a good base of fire with the models we presented, then add on more specialty items later on. For example, we will have a truck-based 20 millimeter anti-aircraft cannon coming soon, as well as some of the more specialized ones, for example, deployable weapons you might see slung on shoulders or in backpacks.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. So can we look forward to, I don't know, sometime in the future you're going to make a 2 or 3 man mortar crew? Or
Actually, we already have mortar crews available. We offer an STL service on My Mini Factory Tribes, and we just did a bunch of weapons for the insurgents, from 50 caliber machine gun positions to a mortar section as well. They're not the best trained looking guys,
Well-
but they make it work.
I was going to say they're not the best trained guys.
Exactly.
So that's legit. All right, so it's not just the physical models that come in the box, but in My Mini Factory, you also have a variety of models available that are beyond your starter kit, if you will.
Absolutely. Our focus with My Mini Factory is anything that would be supplemental. So you're looking at things like SWAT teams coming out next month.
What?
The Insurgents, I did a bunch of releases for Insurgents, but the primary focus for it is to provide you guys with alternatives that don't conflict with our retail stores. We want to offer retail stores exclusive stuff, exclusive medals, but still give people the options to expand their game. I don't believe in keeping everything secret and etc. Yeah, just keep it. Yeah.
What else is in the box?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's flip that guy around. So, yeah, I mean, at this point, it's an unboxing as well.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and play show and tell.
Yeah, for sure. So we get some Eastern and Western Force boxes here. We're going to open these up for our show. We've got them extra bubble wrapped up for everybody.
Nice.
And you're going to get these pewter model sets. I'm going to drop it on the green screen. These are all going to be primarily one piece in addition to the body, as I mentioned before. So you'll get a 5-man here and another 5-man with some bases. Everything here is made in the United States, including our bases and our pewter castings, like this. And we've made our best effort, and in my opinion, the best assembled models possible for pewter models. We have a lot of the butts of the weapon placed into the shoulder of the model, so when you line the weapons up, it's a perfect fit. I hate fiddling around with little wrists and stuff like that.
So you say that, and I'm looking at it now, and obviously this guy's carrying an M4 because you can see that the buttstock is mounted there, and then you are going to glue the rest of the weapon into him.
Interestingly enough, it's actually an AK chassis.
Is it?
Yeah.
That looks like a Magpul.
Zentico has some style, things like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid over here.
Hell yeah, man.
I thought, well, yeah, they are Eastern, so that would make sense. All right.
So you see that rail system on there. It's one of those heavier, I don't know if that's the correct arm, my bad, but yeah, they usually just pop right in there and you're ready to rock.
That's it. Look, you trim a little piece of flash off on there, and that'll fit in perfectly. And I mean, the level of detail on here, the guy's optics actually line up with his sight, with his eye.
Yeah.
I mean,
all my posing is going to be as correct as possible for it. We've got plates to the front. We have some lesser trained guys maybe kind of do the traditional rifleman poses. I can't suffer the inaccuracies with stuff. I'm kind of anal about it, I guess. Yeah. So.
And it's you have a very high level of detail on your even though it's a metal model on your metal models. I mean, these are very crisp. There's a lot of detail built into them. So if you're a guy that wants to really be the try-hard on your paint job, you have a really good starting point here. You don't have to overcome perhaps the deficiencies in a model. I mean, these are really impressive looking miniatures here, my friend. So
I designed everything to be three-dimensional. And a lot of guys like to talk about the painting where they can paint it actually put a wash and it'll pull the details out because there's separation between even the magazines and the black rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah. But I mean, you can see he's the detail in his knee pads and on his plate carrier and the pockets and pouches that he's got running off his belt and his backpack. I mean, you can see the cap on his camelback, that type of stuff.
My favorite are the strobes, because the Russia has, they usually tape their strobes, the IR strobes on, so you can see the tape on the top of the helmet, as well as the push-to-talk wiring and stuff, yeah. I wasn't going metal for a long time. We were primarily producing 3D printed models only, because that's what will satisfy me. But we've actually worked with a company over the past year to really perfect the metal casting process, and they've done some things outside of the normal industry to make sure that happens for me. Very happy with it.
I was going to say, I don't know what method these guys use for their production, but it works. I will tell you that. Those are very impressive. I mean,
Thank you, man.
I do a lot of metal models in modern miniatures, and those are among the most detailed that I have seen to date. So whoever's doing those for you, keep them.
I'll send this video to them.
They're doing good stuff.
Those are...
What you got in there? What's in the
little
bag?
Man. So these are our token sets. So I'm not a huge fan of tokens unless they present a temporary status. So in-country's designed to be token minimal, and that's why we have such small tokens. So we got a couple of sets here. We have, for example, the suppressed, defensive, and of course the injury ones. In addition to that, the only ones that require a certain diameter are our grenade and smoke tokens. So for example, you throw a grenade, you resolve the explosion, you remove the grenade. You throw a smoke grenade, it starts at smoke 2. Next turn, it becomes smoke 1. When it comes back, it's gone. Smoke dissipates.
So it just helps you track it.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. That's a nice piece there.
Otherwise, everything is just going to be temporary. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what you want to use it for, right?
Yeah, man. I can't really get around dragging tokens around with models.
All right, so you got me geeking out over the Eastern guys.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Let's see what our guys look like.
Yeah,
Or
Western
the
forces.
Western forces.
So the first one up is the Canine, actually modeled after my own Belgian Malinois. So he's got some actual kit.
We don't see it from back here.
Oh, you don't see it from back here? You want me to move it closer? Yeah, I can dump it out of the box.
I was gonna say it might be tough to see it, but you got the Maligator and
Yeah, man.
getting ready to launch.
So he's got some teeth in there. He's got an IFAC on the side marked with a cross because how do you know it's an IFAC unless it's got
That's right.
some straps and buckles as well as a nice little collar. So he'll run alongside his friends there and he can be used in the game to deter.
I love that pose. I mean,
Yeah, thanks, man.
he looks like he's getting ready to do work.
We have the, I believe this is going to be the advisors. So we have a mixture of advisors as well as the actual Green Beret unit themselves. So they can be differentiated by the helmets. The Class 3 is the quad nods or whatever, the panoramics.
Yep.
They've got a triple flashbang pouch on the back. That's going to be a general purpose pouch on the bottom back plate carrier.
That's how you know they're advising. They only need 3 flashbangs.
This one's running and clutching at 320 in his other hand there with the optics out, ready to get glizzy, as we like to say with it.
Do God's work.
Do God's work, amen. They're using the Mark 18s with the upper receiver group improved, so that's going to have the bearings on it.
Of course they are.
Absolutely, my man. So I studied these, actually got hands-on with one to sculpt it traditionally. Yeah, we got the rail systems as well.
So Julian.
Yeah, man.
I'm thinking that since you said these are sculpted based off the real thing, maybe you should just send the real thing over to my house so I can compare it to the little teeny pewter one.
I think it's a great idea, man. We can put some rounds through it, see if it sounds the same.
Yeah.
I'll bust out these other. I wish it was very limited. I just took a bunch of photos with it. These are some of the other. These are the more assault-oriented assaulters. So my favorite is we got a breaching tool slung in the back here with the hammer and the pry at the top. Dump pouches. We have some of the magazine retentions. You can see the push-to-talk there as well with the cable coiled down. This one also has the retention in his plate carriers loops for combo wires bundled up on themselves. And he's got some breaching pens for unwanted entry.
So Julian, I'm a guy that likes to paint. I think I can hold my own. I'm not gonna win a Golden Demon. I've got the entry to prove it. That didn't get shit at Adepticon's Golden Demon. But as a guy that's a tryhard, damn it, man! With all this detail, which I've been fawning over.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shit to paint.
Yeah, that's actually our major complaint with the models is people say they have too much detail for it.
Woo!
I just want to keep it real. I can't help it. So
I like the challenging because I've run some of this kit and I know these guys. I have a pretty good idea of what right looks like, if you will.
Absolutely.
On the other hand, if I was the guy that just wanted to get these on the table, I could probably have some things painted the same color and put a wash over it and not have my own feelings hurt. So
absolutely.
I don't think people should. I don't think that's a reason to bitch, if you will.
Yeah. For sure.
But if you're the tryhard that wants to get to that level of detail, it's there for you to do. That's really nice.
Yeah. It's there. I enjoy painting myself. I like to keep it real. That's the SIG I was talking about. It's got the rail system, the bipod, and that giant suppressor.
Yeah.
So these are actually using the new raised optics. So they're going to raise themselves above that PEQ system. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're trying to get over the PEC now instead of because before essentially they couldn't mount a PEC on there because if you did. You just locked out your sights and your optic.
Yeah, and they have the new magnifiers that flip vertically rather than off to the side. That's a recent development as well, at least in these units. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I worked with some actual guys that use this stuff and made sure it works. But like you said, man, just throw color on there and a wash, maybe a dry brush.
Yep.
You're good to go.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, I'm here to tell you, I am super, super stoked about this. I mean, I'm ready to start digging into the rules. This is the type of stuff that I would look forward to personally painting, and if the rules pan out as you've described, I look forward to playing. And we already have a 2x2 display board built, as well as I've got essentially a 2x3 board that's ready to go. I just throw a scatter train on to change up the the various obstacles and whatnot that go on there. But it was a picture frame project that we did for the podcast in January? Question mark? Oh, no, earlier this year. But the board, the terrain itself, the board is built, and you just got to throw on whatever it is based on the game that you're playing. And I think that this would fit right into those. So I'm super excited to do some of it. Your dog is killing. I mean, I've had shepherds for a long time. I had a Malinois. I'm not going to do that again.
I still scratches on the roof of my car.
I mean,
you can jump on it.
Yeah, Malinois are super intelligent and they're higher energy until the day they die. I know that because mine was like that until literally 3 days before I had to put her down. If you don't give them something to do, they're going to find something to do.
Absolutely.
And that may involve, objects that used to be near and dear to your heart and now are just in little pieces or just no longer exist, or maybe they live in a different place. Like, I can't figure out where my dog buried me. So, yeah. But I love that sculpt. That is a beautiful sculpt. So
I do want to note that 10% of our sales goes to fight veteran suicide. We work with a couple of charities, but Mission 22 has been our primary source. It's been a big motivating factor for it, especially starting the company.
That is awesome. As well as I know that you yourself are a veteran, but Enemy Spotted, veteran-owned company.
Absolutely.
You want to talk a little bit about the company itself?
Yeah, so Enemy Spotted Studios started out, got out, had some friends, we wanted to do some stuff. Unfortunately, a few of them passed away. Kind of a motivating factor for our mission and purpose as well as just making badass models. I love fast games, I love brutal games, and nothing really satisfied that itch for actual military stuff. There was a lot of minutia about modifiers, what gear, stuff like that, especially the more sci-fi games. So I kind of set out, I started with Kill Wager, which is going to be a science fiction based game, very small unit tactics, and then moved into In Country, because I just love modern kit. I love working with modern guys, especially military guys. And yeah, man, that's it. So we got Kill Wager and In Country. In Country is our current project as we expand it, especially towards Nova Open this year.
Right. All right, so we've talked about your game a little bit. I've talked about how interested I am in it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man.
For the folks that are not here and able to be able to purchase this at Little Wars here in Naperville today, where can they get this game?
Absolutely, I'm glad you asked. We have www.inxcountry.com. You can buy all the available models there. Our 2-player starter boxes and pewter are available for pre-order right now, and they'll be going live for the public within the end of the week, next week. I don't know when this is going out, but yeah, so we had to pre-order this because I have a select group of guys that get pre-order access, and we sold out of everything. It's been so popular. So what we have here is the last of our stock. We'll be getting new stuff in. Look for shipping in mid-May to early June for everything involved.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So do you have like a Patreon or a membership or something? You said you have a select group of guys that, and if there was somebody out there looking, how do they get to be that select person?
Absolutely.
Or is that a thing? How's that work?
Yeah, man. It's called The Pack. It's available at www.enemyspotted.studios.com. It's $6 a month. It gets you exclusive privileges in our Discord, early access to all of our products, and we also do micro crowdfunding campaigns where some of the guys are like, man, I want some Russians, gas masks, no sleeves. And I'm like, I can sculpt that. We do a little bit of a crowdfunding charity donation, and I sculpt it on a live stream for them, and I have my printer go ahead and send it out as a fulfillment.
Sweet.
Yeah, man.
I don't know that I've heard of anyone else doing something of that nature.
It's a lot of fun, very dedicated group, yeah. Cool guys.
That is
Talk about
awesome.
the Discord again?
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say you also said that you had a very active Discord, and for those that are involved with the Discord, there's some cool stuff going on there.
Absolutely. I love our Discord channel. It's almost 800 members now. It's going to be Enemy Spotted Studios. You can find several links on our website. I don't know how to link to Discord directly. We got a lot of painting, a lot of fan-made content, especially for in-country, from custom scenarios to zombie rules. Everybody likes zombies.
Yeah.
And these guys are just killer. Very supportive community. We stamped out on any kind of negativity about stuff, and we really help each other understand the rules, play more games, and play more fun games.
Very
Yeah,
good.
man.
Awesome. All right. Well, all right. You've heard what I've got to say about it, so I'm not going to belabor the point there. Before we wrap this up, is there anything else that I failed to ask you about that you wanted to make mention of? Because part of the mission here is to be able to highlight folks that are bringing good games to the public. Did we miss anything? Is there anything else that we need to cover here?
Not really. My mission's just to make fun, fast games that don't bog you down or create hard feelings. And I hope everybody can kind of be inspired by that in some way, whether it's with a different game system or even just to paint your stuff. Any part of the hobby is healthy, in my opinion, especially for mental health and aspects like that.
Yeah, 100%. I can tell you that. So during the pandemic, when we were going through lockdowns and whatnot, hobby was my go-to.
Absolutely.
I mean, I really did a ton of it. So I know that's what helped kept me sane when I was locked in the house, because I am not a guy that can do that.
It helped keep you alive because Donna was going to kill you.
Yeah, that'd be my wife. Yeah, 100%. So that's true. So as well as we're all veterans here. Me, you, and Chris. We've all had friends that have not been able to make that readjustment back into civilian life and have become one of the 22. So the fact that you support Mission 22 and whatnot, I think that's even a greater tie-in, and I love you, making the donation towards that. So I thank you for that as well. All right. Well, that being said, I think that we're done here. Thank you so much for joining us and for playing show and tell. This is awesome.
Fantastic.
I can't wait to see some of this stuff on the table. So for the Sit Rep podcast, here with Julian, I'm Marty, Chris behind the camera, and we will see you in the next video.
Thank you, guys. Fantastic.